Hey everybody, on this video I'm going to this is kind of part of a series on shame and allyship. Specifically, that's one of the big things that people are attempting to solve for when they want to be an effective ally, is the shame that they feel for feeling like an ineffective ally. And so we're going to go after shame in a few videos. This is something that I've been working on in the book. And specifically, I wanted to do it through play. I wanted to do it through games. So first, we're going to take a classic game everyone knows how to play but might not know the rules to. Then I'm going to offer you a second game that you can then use to actually unstick yourself from the shame of the first. And that first game is the blame game. What's the blame game, you may ask? We all know what the damn blame game is, but if you don't know, let me break it down for you. The blame game is what happens after someone has run into a problem that they don't know how to solve. Now, some people could just go and study and research and figure things out. Let's be real, that's still technically a part of the blame game, because suddenly you're blaming your lack of knowledge of how to solve the problem for not being able to do it. We're not going to go too deep into that, but let's say you've got a problem and you're uncertain, unclear, and just generally afraid and anxious, and you don't want to be that way anymore. Well, the easiest thing you can do is blame someone else for your problem. I say this a lot, don't make an enemy of something you can't punch in the face. The blame game is the way in which we do that. That joke lands because of the blame game. If I decide that I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money, I don't have it, and I then blame capitalism, here's what I'm doing. Taking a concept. Two players in every blame game. There is the blamer and there's the blamed. The blamer is either going to be a victim or a hero. Victim is going to be chilling. Someone asks, hey, why is your life this way? What's going on? What's happening? How can I help? The victim will be like, well, let me tell you. So-and-so and zap-a-dap and zo-and-do and dick-a-dat and all these people are the reason why I'm here and everything's terrible. It's pretty classic when you can find that circumstance. If you are a hero, you might also play the blame game. You hear the story of the victim. Okay, it was so-and-so in here and such and such at this time. Perfect. I'm going to go get him. The hero will go out and try and take action against whatever is being blamed. And this is where the things that we blame become very important. If you blame capitalism, a hero can't go out and do much with that. They may actually, in fact, start blaming themselves for not being powerful enough to overcome this big, giant, faceless entity. Or it might just be Jimbo down the road. Either way, something's going to happen. Either the hero is going to go up to Jimbo and be like, hey, you're responsible for this person's suffering. We're going to need you to do something about it. Maybe Jimbo does it. Maybe Jimbo feels the appropriate amount of shame. Oh my God, it was me? Oh, geez. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take on that responsibility and go help that person. Successful version of the blame game. Very happy. Jimbo goes, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. They will do one of two things. They will blame someone else, or they just won't take responsibility, because the blame game has a secret win condition. First off, it just decides who's in wrong and who we get to shame, but also supports the stories of victims. It gives heroes a target, but it empowers the blamed. It powers the persecutors. So if you're going to empower a persecutor, they do have to take on responsibility, which is why you should also only blame things that have a face that you can talk to. Capitalism can't take responsibility over what it's doing. It's a system made by people who could take responsibility if you want to have that conversation, but those people are smart enough to have kept themselves far enough away from you such that you can't have that opportunity. And so in doing so, the hero will run into this thing. Damn, the thing that is being blamed is too big, too powerful, too far away for me to take effective action. And now the circumstances of that bigness, that far awayness, or even the hero's lack of power turns them into a victim. And suddenly it's like, well, so-and-so down the street was having a really rough time, so I went to go out and help them, but then as I went to go after the people that they blamed for the circumstances, it turns out that I was unable to do anything, and that my own weakness got in the way of doing so. It's rough. It's very slick, this blame game, and it can be very rough to run into that, because the game is ultimately played to resolve that feeling of confusion, of lack of clarity, of responsibility. And it's very effective at what it does, but it ends up having us kick the can down the road a lot of times. So in my next video, I'm going to tell you about another game that you can play. So for now, go ahead and explore all the things that you're blaming in your life right now, things that you've heard other people blame, and just play around. See if you can identify, okay, who's the hero? Who's the victim? What is the thing being blamed? What have other heroes done to try and solve this? And what are the circumstances that make them leave that fight? You might find yourself a little bit surprised. Maybe you're not surprised, but just play around with it for a little bit.